Cheers from Japan, I'm the Tokyo Toy Bastard, and it's been a while since I've seen you guys, or at least face to face, or even though I can't see your face. It's the first time in a while that you've seen my face, because recently I've been filming all my videos on a white backdrop with my hands and stuff. So, I look like this now. No mask, no work shirt. I changed, I'm actually on my work break. But I put on my special BPRD t-shirt because today's a special video. I'm going to be talking about my Hellboy collection and how I got into collecting Hellboy. So, let's go back to 2005. 2005 was the year that I moved here to Tokyo. I was not a big comic book fan. I was working at a manga studio. I did like manga, but I never really read any American comics growing up. Now, I actually did work at a comic book store, but I really didn't like the comics. I was more interested in the manga section, so I did like the animated series like X-Men and the Spider-Man stuff and Batman animated series, and I loved the comic book movies that had come out. Just never really gave American comics a chance. Then, in later that year, 2005, almost 2006, a shop in Shibuya opened up, or maybe it was already open, but I had noticed this giant orange building that had the word Blister on it. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I went there. I went inside, didn't know what it was. And it was a shop full of American toys and American comic books and things like that. And I happened to just browse through some of the comics, and they were all like the American editions written in English. So I was like, wow, I can't find anything written in English here, except for specialty sections at some of the bookshops. And they usually have shit selections. So I looked through some of the comics, and I came across Hellboy. I came across Seed of Destruction. This is the omnibus version, which I recently acquired, that has more than just the original Seeds of Destruction inside. But I saw the art and I was like, wow, that's really cool, like very bold and interesting. So I opened it up, and as soon as I saw pages with all of these, just like these bright colors with dark contrasting shadows, I was like, okay, let me take a look at this. So I read through it. I thought it was something that I wanted to pick up. So I picked it up, took it home, and read it. Now, my only experience with Hellboy prior to that was seeing the movie, the Guillermo del Toro movie, which came out in, I believe, 2003, which I went to go see due to a friend, my friend Brian, invited me. He was a big comic book fan. His older brother worked at the comic book shop that I worked at prior to me. So I did enjoy the movie, never really read the comic book. Same with anything else. I like Batman, never read a Batman comic book, until later, obviously. So yeah, fell in love with the book, took it home, read it. That next weekend I went back to Blister because I remember seeing Hellboy toys there. They had Hellboy toys made by Mezco, and I bought just a Hellboy figure. Unfortunately, I don't have it right now. I sold my Hellboy collection after I moved back to America, unfortunately. So I had amassed a pretty decent collection of Hellboy Mezco figures and some of the side characters. But that was it. I had some good stuff, but it was all gone. I even sold up all my graphic novels, including the BPRD graphic novels, which I love the BPRD. Read all the books, got rid of them. Didn't need them, didn't want to ship them back and forth to countries. I wasn't going to reread them, in my opinion. No, I kind of wish I would have held on to them. But, flash forward to 2020, now. And I realized that a couple years ago, Mike Mignola returned to write, well, he had been writing, but to write and illustrate, because he kind of left. That's when I kind of lost interest. When he stopped drawing Hellboy, I kind of lost interest in it. Although I did love Dave Stewart and John Arcudi. Dave Stewart's the colorist. John Arcudi, is that right? He did the artwork for BPRD. Whoever the artist was for BPRD. I liked his art. Anyway, so he did Hellboy in Hell. So I picked that up, and that reignited my love for Hellboy. And I also picked up the two movies on Blu-ray here in Japan and watched them with my kids. My son is obsessed with Hellboy now. So I was like, okay, I need to restart my collecting journey. So I was like, what's the first Hellboy figure ever released? Or the action figure ever released. And so I did some research, and then it turned out it was this guy right here. This is the 2000-2001 Big Blast Hellboy, released by, I guess, by the company Big Blast. So here it is. And he comes with this rad sword, which may or may not be Excalibur. I know he was pictured with swords early on, but later on he does actually find Excalibur, and you find out that he's related to King Arthur and all that stuff. he comes with an extra hand, and he also comes with his gun right here. And this trench coat is really rad. It's made out of real fabric, but you know, it's a lot of collectors will see this and go, okay, it's a good attempt, but they kind of got his face wrong. But not really, actually. This actually looks like he does in the first comic, in Seed of Destruction. His jaw is not as... It doesn't look the same. Like, if you compare Seed of Destruction to Hellboy in Hell, the artwork's very different inside. I mean, it's still his style, Mike Mignola's style. Very different, though. Well, anyway, this was released in the 2001, produced in 2000, Graffiti Designs by Big Blast, and there were some other figures in this line. And there were two variations of Hellboy. There's Hellboy with no shirt. He still has the trench coat, so like this one, he has no t-shirt under the trench coat, but there's another version where he's wearing a black shirt that has this logo on it, BPRD, or a variation of this logo. So that's one variant that I'm looking for. And these are selling for around $100 on eBay. I was planning to originally open this one and like display it with the sword and stuff, but then when I got it, it was so minty crisp that I was like, you know what, I won't open it, I won't open it. I had a couple friends that were like, don't open it, don't open it. So I didn't open it. I'll open it right now. Just kidding, I'm not gonna open it. Soon after that, I also picked up the recent Super 7 Reaction Hellboy 3-pack. I picked up this pack instead of the other ones. I don't know if you can see. Right, well, let me fix my light. I picked up this set because it had Hellboy without his trench coat, because his tail is movable inside, and it also comes with Johann Kraus. I'm looking this way and pointing this way. Johann Kraus, one of my favorite side characters from the BPRD, and the original villain from what was the first graphic novel called? Seed of Destruction, and the movie Rasputin, who is also a real character in real life, a real person, or was, but a little bit different from that. I like this box, really cool. And these are done in like the 3 3/4 Kenner style, the Reaction series. You guys are familiar with it. And just to go along with that, I also got a Abe Sapien. Also, I was originally planning to open these too, but they look so cool in the package. It's even got the original price in here, $44.98. Got it for much cheaper than that. Almost got this for free. Yay! Alright, stick around. I'm working to something here. It probably says it in the title, but stick around. Something very special is about to come up. Before we get to the super special stuff, got a little Constructs Hellboy. These are very cheap. I've got some of the Ninja Turtle Constructs toys too. They're like Lego compatible, but they're detailed figures. These are kind of cool. This is something I can't really film with this camera side. I need my camera flipped to get better detail, but this video is not about this figure, so maybe I'll review that at some point, but I think people have already... I try not to review things that people have already reviewed. That's boring. Also, this guy. A lot of reviews of this. This is the 1000 Toys Hellboy. Amazing figure. Another amazing one. But that's also not what we're here to talk about. So I picked all those up, and I was like, all right, cool. Now, I need a Mezco. I need to go back and get my old Mezco toys back. So I Googled Mezco. Those are already expensive figures, or at least some of them were. Google Mezco, or in eBay, because you can't really find them here anymore. And by the way, Blister is gone, or it's not what it used to be anymore. So yeah, looked at the prices on those fucking things. Jesus Christ, and they were like 6-inch scale, and they're selling for over $100 loose. Like, and there's several variants of Hellboy, and then the carded ones are even more crazy. So I was like, oh fuck that. And then I remembered, wait, they had also the jumbo size one. I had a big jumbo size one that had like a rocket pack on, and I think his tail broke, and I ended up trying to repair it, and I was like, and I ended up selling him anyway. But I was like, okay, let me see how much those are worth. Then I found out that those are worth like, obviously well over a couple $100, $200 to $500, depending on which version, how decent condition it is. And then I got lucky. I found a seller in Australia that had a very cheap one, and in the box, mint in box, and it was the one with the trench coat, which is what I wanted, and I picked it up. And I totally forgot how actually fucking huge it is. Look how big this thing is. It's huge. I will say that I paid after shipping about $150, which is insane, especially shipping this from Australia. Like, the shipping cost was like half of that almost. So yeah, I love this. I'm gonna take it out in a second, but first let me show you the most special item in my collection. So you see this giant jumbo guy right here? See how these detailed paint apps inside and all that, and the jacket, paint on his belt. We're gonna compare this in a second. Oh, let's take a look at the back too. There's the back. You can see him there without a shirt on. Now, here's the kicker. While I was looking for this, I stumbled upon something by accident that I wasn't looking for. It's this right here. You're like, okay, that's a loose version of the same figure. No, look carefully. Do you see any paint apps on him? Do you see how his face is a different color than his body? No paint on the legs, no paint on the pants. Tail's a different color than the body, bright red. The right hand of Doom has 2 different colors. You know why that is? That's because this is a test shot. This is a one-of-a-kind test shot production figure from the factory that produced these. This is from Mezco's factory. So yeah, there are probably not very many of these. Very dusty, sorry. It's amazing. I like flipped out when I found this, and I bought this actually before I even bought the big one with the box, because I was like, okay, that's way more unique. I've got to have that. So I bought this, and then I waited so I could buy the big one so that I could compare them in a video. And these are so big, I don't think I could even fit these on my like white screen. So I'm just gonna let this roll without the editing. Just gonna keep this still like a 15-minute video. Let me open up this other guy and we'll just compare it like this, you know. These are so big, I don't think I need to get really in tight on them anyway. So yeah, we're so excited to find this. It's so cool. I do know that on eBay there are some other like Mezco prototypes for sale that were on there, like some like minifigures and stuff based on the movie toys. As much as I love the movies, I do not like the movie toys. I don't know, just like, it just doesn't look right for some reason. I don't know. But I love Ron Perlman. Speaking of the movies, I recently watched the recent movie. It had so much potential. It all got fucked up. You could tell that so many people had clashing ideas with that movie, so yeah. A little bit sad. Some cool parts in that movie though. Alright, here he is out of the box. And you can see right here the big difference just in the color of the chest and the paint. So he's got a completely different color for the red plastic, and you've got all the paint apps. Also on the belt and the pants area, because this is missing all of the accessories and jacket, you can see that there is painted stripes, pinstripes on this version. This one doesn't have any of those paint apps. And let's look at the right hand of Doom here. Again, different colors, paint apps are missing on this one. But I love how this looks without paint apps and the bright colors. Like, I love stuff that have that prototype test shot look to them. Yeah, amazing. I actually don't want to take his jacket off. I really don't want to take his jacket off. You can imagine what it would look like underneath. I mean, like everything else is pretty much the same. But like, let's see the faces. Speaking of the faces are pretty similar. You could tell that this was they probably used the head that was already finished, and they stuck it on this body for some reason. Because there are actually different head variants. There's one where he's like kind of scowling, and I think there's another one where he's like smiling or something. I think there's 3 different head sculpts. There might be 2. I'm not entirely sure. You can let me know in the comments. I am rushed filming this on a break time, so I'm just going from memory. There were several different variants of the costume. So he had one with the jacket, and he had one with a leather jacket with a rocket pack. And I think they also sold one that just didn't have any jacket at all, just like they did with the smaller figure lines. But man, I'm so happy to have these, but I've had to clear a lot of space just to set these out in my collection. You can already see behind me my collection is like getting pretty insane. I've also got a bunch of jumbo Godzilla soft vinyl toys that I've gotten in recently that I want to review at some point. I've just got this last month, I don't know, I went on a frenzy of collecting things that were large that I'd been wanting, and now my room is getting very hard to put stuff in. So I am selling some things. If you are a member of my Evangelion Collectors group or the Dragon Ball Vintage Collectors group, or if you follow me on Instagram at Tokyo Toy Bastard, I am putting some things up for sale to clear some space. But yeah, I don't think I even want one of these smaller Mezco Hellboy, since I've got basically the coolest giant version of it, because it just looks like a smaller version of this. And I've got a test shot, factory test shot. So super stoked to have these. I guess I need some other side characters or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty happy with my Hellboy collection now. Now I just need to go back and get all the graphic novels again and read those. Luckily, they have them in omnibus form now. So I've got the first and the last. Now I just need to fill in the gaps. But yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm very excited. Thank you. Thanks for watching. That was weird. Sorry. Yeah, also, American toys. You know, I've taken a break from Japanese toys today. So if you want to see me talk more about like toys not from Japan occasionally, like I'm doing this in the middle of the week, so I'm going to kind of do more rushed random videos in the middle of the week, and then I'll do my full reviews or junk bags or toy hunts on the weekends. So I am hopefully going to do a toy hunt on this coming Saturday, somewhere with a friend possibly, or a couple friends. So look forward to that. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. Hit the bell so that you get notified, because I know a lot of people don't get notified. Subscribe, please fucking subscribe. It's easy. All you have is, you just need a Google account. That's all you gotta do. Just use your Gmail and you can subscribe. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, and I'm almost able to monetize. I'm like literally this close. So please help me out. Make sure you like too. The more you like it, the more I'll have a chance of my videos being shown to people that have never seen them before. That's it. I gotta go back to work. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about Hellboy, what figures I should get that I'm missing from my collection, if any, and let me know if you have any of these guys and if you paid a ridiculous amount of money for them. These are not good for your wallet. These and Godzilla's not good for the wallet. Adios.